Okay. Welcome to my workshop. This will be a quickie, and today we will be looking at how we can interface UIKit libraries with SwiftUI. Let's say we need a calendar in our new app, and what can we do? Of course, instead of programming it from scratch, because nobody would want that. Okay, actually, when they updated the SwiftUI to what we call SwiftUI 2.0, they included a date picker. Sorry about my heavy accent. And I never used it actually. Just tried once. Sorry. Okay, if you use graphical date picker style, it gives us some kind of I don't want to say calendar because it's still basically a picker, so it's very restricted. We can choose a date and update our date variable in here, but this is useless as a calendar by itself. So we want to use a third-party calendar that have delegate functions and more features. I'm talking about FCCalendar. This is a very good library that we can incorporate in our application. Now, let's find it. Its documentation. It looks like this in start. Let's add this dependency with Swift Package Manager because it will be easier for us and faster. Next. This is an old library, but very great library. It uses Objective-C as main language, but don't worry, we won't be seeing any Objective-C code. Okay, it's added. But we can't start using it right now. We need to interface with the UIKit first. So I start by importing the necessary library, FCCalendar, and I will also import UIKit because we will be using it. Let's make our code more readable. Stack. Okay, first we need to do is create a representable. In Apple's example, they created a UIV controller representable, but all we need is actually a UIV representable. It will be enough for us so that we can only use it as a view, and we can use other SwiftUI elements around it. Okay, let's start by creating another struct. And let's call it calendar representable. Oops, my mistake. View representable. I know it looks like very bureaucratic dystopian way of creating UIs, but it is what it is for right now. Okay, let's see what its necessary stuff. Type alias. Okay, we want to use an FCCalendar module, so this will be representing the FCCalendar, and yes, UI view type FCCalendar. Okay, and it must make a UI view as an FCCalendar. Yes, okay. We will be customizing our calendar in here. So I will mark this as make UI, and let's initialize our calendar. Do I need to give it a frame in here, or? Okay, let's make it to be breakdown and release all kinds of things. Update UI. Okay. I don't think we are going to need that for now. Do I need? No, okay. So Make coordinator. Okay, this is important because we need a way to interface with the UIKit libraries which have delegate functions, unlike the SwiftUI. SwiftUI uses different methods. Okay, in these columns, in our content, in our representable, I'm going to create a coordinator class for just that. And I think it needs to inherit from NS object, and what we will be needing FCCalendar delegate and data source. Sorry about that. Okay, we need to we need a parent view, and we specify its parent view as calendar representable, and we will say coordinator is U, and we will be initializing this with a parent. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay, we need to use context.coordinator. Let's run and see if if this thing fails formidably. Make coordinator. Did I forget this? Yes, now we are talking. Okay, this is our coordinator functions for accessing our delegate functions and data source. This function, this protocol, or gives it and sends it to the representable, and we are, with this data, we are making a SwiftUI view or a UI view representable. Okay, in this make UI view, we can customize our calendar like we are in the method of view.load or something like that. What we what we usually do in the lifecycle elements, we can use it in here, and this will be like our extension of a UI view control or UI view controller class. We have added our delegates and data source, and we have lots of functions to change behavior of our calendar. We can see these functions in here. No, not here. Oh, fuck no. Let's see. The quickest way to discover is this, I think, calendar. Okay, we can give a title for a day or, I'm sorry. I didn't initialize it in there. Of course, we need to bind a variable to our representable and our coordinator to update our SwiftUI, to give data or take data to interface with our app. Selected date is a date, and you need to initialize that. Let's see. Representable. We won't be needing that. Calendar. No. Okay, selected date. Let's bind this to it. Selected date on binding. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if this thing gonna work. Yes. Now FCCalendar is working in our SwiftUI app. And if you think about it, it's an Objective-C library. It's basically ancient, but it is working wonderfully. And we actually didn't give it a frame, so I'm not sure how it's calculating its frame, but I believe we can use our representable as any of SwiftUI view, so we can give it a padding. It already has a padding. Yes, that's great. Let's make it a little bit nicer. Oh, my computer is heating up. It's looking good. What else we can do? We can give it a hard-coded height of 3050. Nice. Okay. Now we have started using our FCCalendar, and when we click a date, it's updating this variable selected date, and we can use anything with it. However, even SwiftUI's native date picker can do that. What else we can do? Actually, we can do anything. This library is really feature packed, and we have a lot of functions for a lot of things. We can give a certain title for a certain date, or for example, return hi, and let's resume our view. You see, okay, this is bullshit, but let's try another thing. Number. Okay, we can give events per a date. For example, now we are returning one event per all dates, but of course you can specify which date you would want to add an event. These functions always working in the background, like in a loop for all dates we see. We can say if this is that day, return 1. If it's not, okay. If it's in our date, return 1, or I can fetch them from core data or basically anywhere, and I can say check if this object this records date matching with the date inside of that day, and then I can give it an event. Okay, let's say what else we can do in there. Did select. Okay. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Catastrophe. We need to use the select function to update our selected day. Fucking hell. Parent nokta dot selected date is equal to date. Okay, now it will be updating our selected day variable. Yes. Let's say okay, it's not working that dynamically, but when we start our calendar, we can give it events per certain dates. That's my point. We can give images for certain dates. This is a great function. Should select. If you have certain dates in your database, in your data, that you would want user to be select, you can choose certain dates to be selectable, and then you can make navigation links or sheet views to send the user from there when they select a date that they able to select. And display. We can customize our cell even more in here in the function that will display a cell. We can give it subviews or change some elements dynamically. And I just changed some appearance and didn't talk about it. And there we can. Okay. Now the interface stuff. We can customize our interface endlessly in here. It has very good functions: appearance calculator, calendar header view, data source. Okay, let's, for example, we can change our date format, and of course our minimum date and maximum date. In this case, our minimum date is the start of the month and end of the same month. Date formatter. No. We can change header heights, week heights, or row heights. For example, let's be smart and look at the document. Okay, we can use formatter.date format for formatting our header date. Date format, for example, and it didn't change anything because I just gave the same formatting that it has. Come on. Why you are not working? I don't understand. Ah. Header date format. As you see, we changed the formatting in the header. We can be as inductive as we want. NS date format. I can't memorize anything, so I'm looking at them. For example, we can write it like this. This is good. and we can use calendar local to change its language, but I think it changes its language automatically per device. We can use just the numbers. Like that. Okay, now I formatted the selected day into a string. What? Okay. So we can see what's happening. Font title. As we can see, when we choose a date, select a date, it's updating the string here. Our coordinator sending the new selected day to our representable, and it's the variable binded our SwiftUI view. So it's updating itself. Of course, we can change this selection behavior without the delegate function. We can say allow selection. We can set it to false. And I remember that when I was using this library, I always set the multiple selection to false, but kept single selection as allowed. Yes. What else we can do? We can let's customize its appearance more. What's can we make a shortcut? I wonder. Yes. Okay, we can change border radius, for example. As you can see, it becomes a rectangle, and it has a nice animation. When I'm selecting a date, it sort of isn't. We can change default color. Selection color can be, I don't know, good. not dark gray. Oops, we only changed the border selection color. Selection color, yes. This is what we want. Oof, this is the worst color one can use in a calendar or anywhere. For example, we can change the alpha of these elements, elements on the sides the other day. Okay, you will be see. You see. Okay, I made it 0 so we can see other dates on the sides always. For example, now I'll be making them 1 and they are always here. Let's make it 0. Case options, image offset, subtitle font. Let's change the font. Title font. Oops. Fuck. U font, huh? Is this nicer or not? I don't know. We can change the color also to be not red, for example. And we just made it disappear because the today's title color is white. Yes. Okay, that's it. Thanks for bearing with me. And stay healthy. Goodbye.